So you've got your ADHD diagnosis, you've got your prescription, and you're about to start a new medication. You're probably wondering, what's really going to happen? Well, I'm several weeks into my Wellbutrin Bupropion journey, and I took a look back at my daily notes from that very first week. And let me tell you, it was a ride. Here we go. I did kind of have some slight dizziness. I also had trouble falling asleep, and I had no benefits. I'm really having trouble sleeping. I had a little bit of brain fog. I thought it would be a fairly simple A to B journey. It wasn't. It was more like a weird grab bag of experiences. So today I'm not going to give you a day-by-day report. Instead, I'm going to touch on the themes of that first week: the good, the bad, and the just plain weird. Okay, let's start with the good because this surprised me. I wasn't expecting any benefits for weeks. In fact, my provider had warned me that it would probably be weeks before I saw any benefits. Yet on a couple of those first days, I had what I could only describe as a low sustained energy. It wasn't anything like a caffeine high or an energy drink high. It was quite the opposite. It was quiet. I didn't feel the need to rush to the couch to take a nap or to run to the store and buy an energy drink. I was just cruising. My energy was cruising. And it was at that time that I felt that, hey, maybe this is gonna work. And now for the bad. That first week, a few uninvited guests showed up. Dizziness was the first to knock on the door. It wasn't anything overly dramatic. I just felt a little bit off balance. And then there was sleep. Oh my. Sleep and I had a fight. For several nights, my brain just wouldn't shut off, or I would wake up hours early. I was tired, my brain was foggy, and I definitely understated in my daily videos how much that sucked. It was tough. But the good news is that these guests didn't overstay their welcome. The dizziness went away after a few days, and by the end of the week, I was sleeping much better. And that brings us to the weird ones. The side effects that aren't on the front of the box. The first was getting very cold. It was warm in the house and I would be wearing a coat. I was so cold. And then my wife, who's normally the one that gets cold, was perfectly comfortable. It's like our internal thermostats were in two different countries. Second was the ringing. Now, I've had a form of tinnitus for years, but on Wellbutrin Bupropion, somebody turned up the volume. It was much louder. It's gotten better since then, but that was definitely a strange one. Let me know in the comments if either of these have happened to you. So what's my verdict on that first week? It was a necessary storm. It was a little uncomfortable, it was a little weird, but it passed. And within that storm, I got a glimpse of the possibility of calm seas ahead, especially when it comes to that nice, low, sustained energy. That first week was just one step in a much longer journey. And it's not always easy. In fact, my mom had to drop Wellbutrin after being on it for just 5 days because she couldn't get any sleep and she couldn't stand the possibility of going even one more night without sleep. My goal was to try to make it past the first week or two because I knew that's when the side effects would be worse, and luckily I did. If you want to see what happens in weeks 2, 3, and beyond, please hit that subscribe button. And this is a shared experience. Drop a comment below and let me know what your first week was like on any ADHD med. What was your good, your bad, and your weird? I read all comments. Thanks for being here. I look forward to seeing you next time.